How does a workplace strategy align with a business strategy to improve employee performance?
So if you do a good workplace strategy to align with the business strategy, performance is impacted because you're changing the space in which people work, and that impacts how they work, what they do, and how happy they are at work. And generally, happy people are more productive. Yeah.
And so you then have to take the business objectives of whoever you're working with and then develop that strategy?
So to take the business objectives of who you're working with to develop the workplace strategy, we have to get to know the business. That's the first thing that you do. I'm within a business, so my job is to understand our business, what our vision is, and then translate that vision into a spatial response that's going to be this workplace strategy going forward.
And is there a way that you then measure impact or employee performance?
Yes, so what we've done in terms of measuring workplace performance, impact, how people feel about it, what we do is you can't do anything unless you measure it before you make the change. So what we've done is we've measured before what people think about the space, the light, how they work, how they want to work. Then you measure it after, and then you can actually look at that benchmarking in terms of productivity. That's the holy grail, let's say. But it's also about how happy are you within your workplace. Is it light enough? Is the kitchen good enough? There's so many things that impact people. Yeah.
And is there some element of you have a higher retention rate of employees? It's harder to leave with that workspace?
So to map the retention of employees is quite tricky. So we would look to engage with the HR team. So say, right, these teams in the new pilot spaces, for instance, how's our churn rate compared to our average churn rate across the business? So that's how you could map that. But at the moment, it's very hard to do that. It's not very tangible.
And now for companies that don't have someone internally like Bank of New Zealand and you, how do they go about evaluating their current workspace and really thinking about the future?
So I would start, somebody will be the key sponsor if they want to evaluate their workspace but don't have somebody internally. So go out there, do some research, and then talk to some consultants. There's plenty of people in the marketplace who do that for a living, and you need their expertise to come in. No matter how enthusiastic an internal team is, they'll need some outside help to drive that.
And are there any limitations to what kind of business can actually pull this off, or is it any business?
So in terms of limitations for a business that wants to do a workplace strategy, you could do a workplace strategy for 30 people, you could do one for 3,000 people, which is what I'm working on. The scale is irrelevant, the budget probably would change depending on that, and your outcomes will be different. A very small company will have a different vision than a very large company, potentially, yeah.
And can you tell me anything about this conference and who's actually putting it on today?
Yes, so the conference is being put on today by CoreNet. It's part of the Master of Corporate Real Estate, which is a set of workshops that you do, and then that gives you an affiliation with CoreNet for the Master of Corporate Real Estate, and it brings together people from all parts of the industry. So we've got suppliers, we've got consultants, we've got end users, we've got real estate professionals, and it's a great way for 25 people to get together for 2 days and share knowledge as well as be given knowledge.
And this is a global organization or a global association?
Yeah, CoreNet Global is a global organisation, and then we have a New Zealand chapter, so each country has a chapter, and the New Zealand chapter is quite active and successful actually at the moment, yeah.